What? Should you watch that? Oh yeah. I'm sure you're looking for some kind of objective answer based on some bullshit objective facts, but it boils down to, yeah, fuck you, yeah. Steins Gate is about Okabe Rintaro and him having fun with a microwave turned time machine.
身元不明の男性の死体は全身がブヨブヨのゼリー状になっていた。
Well, close. Steins Gate is about a fuckhead named Okabe Rintaro, a self-proclaimed mad scientist interested in time travel. And when I say he's a fuckhead, I really mean it this time. I love him like my own flesh and blood, but I would lie if I had to say he's got more brain cells than vanilla yogurt. The series starts when he attends a lecture by Shoichi Makise, a guy who wants to present his theory on time machines and time travel. But during the lecture, Okabe is like, nah, you stole that shit, and he's like, and Okabe is like, what the fuck? But during the lecture, Okabe notices that he only stole that shit from another guy on the internet called John Titor. He tries to confront him about it, but is rudely interrupted by best girl of the show, Makise Kurisu. She pulls him aside and they have an awkward conversation with each other, which Okabe yeets away from cause he's shy. After meeting up with the girl whose signature war cry still resounds through the anime community years after the anime came out, a real war cry resounds through the whole building, which sounds suspiciously like me after I had too much Mexican food. Okabe decides to check it out, and looky here, guess what he found? A corpse. The corpse of Makise Kurisu, to be exact. He leaves the scene after calling the authorities and does what every other person would do. Write his Discord kitten what just happened. That's, again, where something happens that looks suspiciously like me after I had too much Mexican food. His immediate surroundings seem to have changed as everyone around him has disappeared and some of his knowledge of current events aren't exactly up to date. For example, a fucking satellite crashed into the building the time machine lecture was supposed to take place in. Hence it was cancelled. What could have happened? Whoa, we don't know. Mayuri, the girl with the... and Okabe returned to the base of operation, which Okabe calls the Future Gadget Lab. Hence, he also calls his buddies that tolerate his stupidity lab members. Okabe is lab member 001, Mayuri is lab member 002, and the third member is the Discord mod in the background, whose nickname is literally Japanese for barrel.
Motherfuckers, I hate barrels! This is why I hate you! Fuck you, barrel!
Done my man dirty. But I still love him. And now it's time for an important plot point. Yeah, that thing. Huey, Dewey and Louie rebuild a microwave so for some reason it spins in the other direction and turns everything put inside into wet jelly goop. They do that and turn some bananas to shit, which should be a crime, and that's it. Then they fuck off again to another lecture. In a spurt of ecstasy and passion, Okabe steals Daru's phone and searches for the messages he sent that said that someone stabbed Makise. And here comes the big whammy. The message he sent just a few hours ago was somehow received by Daru last week, which means that the message was sent back to the future. To the past, I meant to say to the past. But that's not where it ends. Right then and there, Okabe sees a person he didn't think he would see again. Makise, the woman he found a few hours back in a puddle of blood. Jesus Christ, this is already too long. I'll hurry up a bit. No one likes long summaries. Makise follows him home, as you do with people you've met 5 minutes ago and literally talked about how you were stabbed, and their conversation went something like this. It's a time machine. What? It's a time machine. What the fuck are you talking about? See the phone? It's a time machine. You waste of oxygen. No, it's not. Look. See? It's a normal microwave. How do you explain this then? What the fuck? Turns out they can send shit to the past with the microwave. They fuck around with the time machine, revive the father of a cat girl, turn a local femboy into a real girl. Fucking criminal. And then a worldwide conspiracy gets whiff of them and tries to confiscate the time machine while killing them. Deserved. Why the fuck would you ruin perfection? Now, should you watch this show? As I already said, yeah, go watch it. Fuck you. Despite its shortcomings, I can guarantee you that after the 24 episodes containing the show, you'll be equal parts confused and horny. Legally, I'm obligated to retract my previous statement. I'm by far not saying that the show is perfect, but it's pretty damn close. Although there's a requirement that might scare a lot of people off. Commitment. I'll be the first one to admit that the first 12 episodes, so 50% of the whole show, serves as world building and establishing the setting. The first 12 episodes were hell for me, cause I, like many of you, got the attention span of a summer ant. And Okube's constant delusional cringe talk really didn't make it easy for me. Although you might like this part of the show for all I know. As most of the characters get introduced in this time span, they fuck around with the messages they can send to this past and just have a good old jolly time in general. Nice, isn't it? Yeah, that changes. After those 12 episodes, shit hits the fan, carrying more force than my parents whooped my ass with. You'll get sucked into a story full of mind-blowing plot twists, one of the best romances in anime history, and an emotional baggage that will leave you depressed several days after the last episode. And who doesn't want that? What starts off as a weird show about a delusional guy who looks like he's past his prime, even though he's apparently 18, evolves into a tense setting that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. And Steins does a pretty good job at that as well. You'll be paranoid for most of the time after the 12th episode. And I don't say paranoid lightly. Every time you think you were able to make sense of something, there's always this voice in the back of your mind that doesn't want to fucking leave you alone.
Kill yourself.
Who was that? The benefit of those 12 episodes of build-up were that they actually gave the plot time to build up. You get the point. Although it's 24 episodes, the whole show revolves around a single arc, and every episode is vital to the plot as a whole. This creates a truly satisfying story as soon as all the details fall into place. I could coom over the show all day long, but no one wants to hear that. Of course, there are also bad points about the show, as with many shows during this time period. The animation looks like it's been sucked through the bagpipe of an 86-year-old Scottish man with stage 6 lung cancer, although the art style has its own flair as the base of the show is a visual novel. The plot is as complicated as it gets, as with every single fucking show with time travel. Not even sure I understand it to this day. Fucking beta and alpha wordlines, fucking CERN, IBN 5100 my ass. And also the bullshit part about turning a femboy into a girl. Why? But the show has just so much to offer otherwise. A great cast of characters, even if some of them act like me when I was 14. Emotion-evoking scenes that play at your heartstrings like the most fabulous orchestra of joy and despair. See that? That's poetry. That one's for free, you ungrateful shit. An opening that still deserves a place in my heart 8 years after the first time I heard it. The whole series is an experience that anyone should have gone through at least once. It's one of the biggest anime of all time for a reason. You don't get that place for shits and giggles. It's not a lighthearted show by any means though. If you're searching for something that'll just be nice to watch after a hard day of work, you're at the wrong house, buckaroo. Conclusion! It's difficult to get into this show as the beginning is slower and more tedious than you can imagine, but the payout is well worth the first few hours. Anyone who wants to get into anime should have tried this show at least once, as it's still considered one of the classics of the golden age of anime. Too long, didn't watch? Watch it, you rat bastard.